we were always wanted to do a children's book, but it felt like now was the right time. Our girls were definitely at the age where they're reading and wanting to read even more by themselves, and also us reading to them. So it was kind of a cool time to do it.
So who first came up with the idea to write this book?
I think it was you.
Yeah.
More. I mean, we always kind of we talked about it a lot, but I feel like we both wanted to do something for kids for a long time.
Yeah.
Did the book come about because of a specific scenario with either of your daughters?
The book definitely came out of us knowing how our daughters felt when they had to do their first dance recital. And they were practicing, and they got a little bit in their heads, a little too much, and so we just kind of like realized that they needed to have a little more fun with it.
So that once they got up on stage, they weren't as nervous, and
Right.
they saw us in the audience, and then it made it fun for them.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
Totally.
In the story, Bella gives her sister a lucky charm. Kevin, do you have a lucky charm that you use before, like when you go on stage, when you're set to perform?
Yeah, I have a bunch of tattoos about our family, so they're always with me. Can't really escape these. As a lucky charm for me, though, actually I have it here, which is ironic that we're in this room, but I have my guitar pick actually has our initials on it, K and D, and then A and D. So I always have them with me, and I have a whole line of guitar picks on my mic stand every single night. So I'm staring at that pretty much all the time.
I think the biggest thing about books for me, we've always done that with our daughter, just, they really are that jumping off point. And I think that's what a lot of parents are going to relate to with this book in particular, that all of these kids have these feelings, the fear, the concern, am I going to do this? And so I think that's what a lot of people are going to relate to.
Right.
That's great. I read that I think that Alina is playing the guitar. Is that accurate? Am I?
Yeah, so the story's kind of based on them.
Okay.
Not exactly their names and, symbolism of them, right?
Right.
Something we can relate to. We wanted to have them be able to see themselves in the book in some capacity. With everything that I do in our life, consists of, we really wanted to do something to include them in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And this was
kind of changed it up a
Yeah,
little bit
totally.
to not totally be them, but as if, but then there's things in there that you'll catch, they have their favorite stuffed animals that they've had since they've been born, and they sleep with every night, and you can find them in the book. So
I love that.
Those little things in there of them, and then they realize that it is them but different names and different scenarios. Alina is very musical, and she really wants to learn how to play the piano and stuff like that, but for their story more is that they've done dance, and she was really nervous about doing their dance up on stage, so we had a fun time with it, and she practiced it, and we just made it fun so that when she was up on stage, she kind of related us having fun at home to being on stage and just relaxing and just doing whatever she could do.
If your girls did decide to go into the music industry, what is the one thing that you would tell them to look out for the most?
I think if our girls ever decided to go into the music industry, I think I'd tell them to look out for just people that are real versus yes men in a way. It's really easy to get caught up in your own space. And so the fact that there's always someone out there that's worked a little bit harder, that's really, really practiced, that's done the work. And sometimes you need to appreciate the gifts you've been given and work harder at it, but at the same time understand that someone's always going to be more hungry, so you got to stay hungry.
One of the things as a parent that always makes me nervous are parent-teacher conferences, and my kid's in first grade, so it's not we're talking about...
We relate, we get it.
Yeah.
Right. But I can only imagine how different that must be for you two. Have you had any funny or interesting things happen when a teacher or a school administrator has realized that it's the both of you? Because Danielle, I know, obviously Kevin, everyone knows Kevin, but also you have your own fame, you are very well known, I think, so have you guys had any funny or interesting stories?
So with the parent-teacher conferences, we actually kind of handle it a little differently. We actually meet with the teacher or the principal before we started the school, and we need to make sure you understand that our daughter is her own person. Our life does not interfere with that. you have to make sure she is a part of this system as just as much as everyone else. And so we've tried to make it as normal as possible for them.
Yeah.
So, she actually is standing up on her own merits these days, for sure. She actually got nominated by her teacher yesterday for, Student of the Month, which is this like whole big program that they have. So we felt very proud. We're like, wow, you're really stepping it up there, Alina.
Yeah.
So, and we 2 years we spent at home. So this is the first year back for them in school with other kids. So it was a huge adjustment, as you can imagine. And it's been really wonderful seeing them start to really kind of blossom into their own going to school.
She's definitely like her own person though, because she gets nervous when they even like mention her last name because she wants to be her own person, which I love that.
Me too.
That she has that. Yeah.
Any new music forthcoming? Any interesting collaborations that you can share?
Yeah, so we're definitely in the studio working on a new project right now. We spent a lot of time working on the Happiness Begins era, let's call it, all of that whole project, and then was able to tour that for almost 2 years, which is amazing. So it's time for us to kind of get in the studio, start working on new things. We've all lived a lot of life and built a lot of story in there. So it's time to put that on some paper and put it into music.
It really is a great book. I actually did read it to my 6-year-old who also loved it. I think.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Very well. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.